make sourdough bread with me. So you're going to start with active starter and add water, whisk that together, and then add the flour in. I mix this up and you'll see that it's kind of lumpy. You'll let it sit for about 30 minutes before sprinkling the salt on top, and then you'll pinch that into the dough. Then we go into our stretch and fold process. So you're going to do this every 30 minutes, 3 to 4 times, and then repeat that 3 to 4 times. So to do this, I'm doing coil folds. So you'll lift from the center, stretch it up, and then fold it down onto itself. Turn the bowl a quarter turn, lift the dough from the center, stretch it up, and fold it down onto itself. 30 minutes later, come back and do the same process. Lift from the center all the way up, stretching the dough, and then you'll fold it down onto itself, turn the bowl a quarter turn, do that process again. Like I said, 3 to 4 times. Cover it with a tea towel, come back 30 minutes later, do it again. So this process takes about 2 hours, but you'll see that the dough starts getting really smooth and silky. This is how we develop the gluten, so this is a really important step. At this point, I cover it with plastic wrap and stick it in the fridge overnight for about 12 to 18 hours for it to double in size like this. And then I leave it on the counter the next day until it comes to room temperature before turning it onto a lightly floured surface and just gently stretching it out into a rectangle. You don't want to knock too much of that air out of it. This is where you would add anything to your loaf, and then you'll fold it up and pull it against the counter to create tension. You could do that a couple of times. If you see that when you put it in a basket, it kind of comes apart, you can stitch it back together with your fingers because you want to keep tension in there. I leave it in a basket for an hour maybe before putting it onto a piece of parchment paper, slicing it, and moving it to my preheated Dutch oven with an ice cube. You'll cover it with the lid and stick it in the oven to bake. The timing for how long it takes to ferment and double and rise and all of the things is so dependent on your location and the temperature and humidity, so play around with it.